Have you ever stood up and suddenly felt the room shift for a moment? Not spinning, but a strange lightheaded feeling. Maybe you had to pause, hold on to something, wait for your balance to return. For many people over 60, this happens more often than they expect. Sometimes in the morning, sometimes after sitting for a while, sometimes for no clear reason at all. Most people brush it off. They say it's just fatigue, or stress, or part of getting older. But dizziness doesn't usually appear without a reason. It often comes from small changes inside the body that add up over time. The brain needs steady blood flow to stay balanced and clear. When that flow becomes less consistent, even briefly, the body reacts. In this video, we'll talk about why dizziness becomes more common after 60, and which everyday habits can quietly make it worse without you realizing it. Many people experience dizziness and immediately try to explain it away. They assume they stood up too fast, they didn't sleep well, or they skipped a meal. Because dizziness often passes quickly, it doesn't feel serious. People pause for a moment, they steady themselves, then they move on with their day. Over time, this becomes normal. The body sends a signal. It is ignored. One reason dizziness is misunderstood is that it feels vague. It's not sharp pain. It's not constant. It comes and goes. This makes it easy to dismiss. Many people also believe dizziness is just a blood pressure issue. While blood pressure can play a role, it is rarely the only factor. Dizziness often involves several systems working together. The brain, the inner ear, the circulatory system. When these systems are slightly out of sync, the body reacts. Balance feels off. The head feels light. Movement feels uncertain. After 60, the body becomes more sensitive to these small mismatches. Blood vessels may respond more slowly. Signals between systems may take longer to coordinate. This does not mean something is broken. It means the margin for error is smaller. Another reason dizziness is overlooked is familiarity. When something happens often, it feels less alarming. People adapt to it. They move more cautiously. They avoid certain positions. They plan around the sensation instead of questioning it. This adaptation hides the underlying pattern. Many people also worry that paying attention will make dizziness worse, so they prefer not to think about it at all. But awareness does not create symptoms. It reveals them. Understanding dizziness is not about fear. It's about clarity. When you understand why dizziness happens more often after 60, it becomes easier to notice what triggers it. And once triggers are noticed, small adjustments become possible. Those adjustments don't need to be dramatic. They need to be consistent. This shift in understanding is the first step toward reducing how often dizziness appears and how disruptive it feels. Dizziness is not a single sensation. People use the word to describe different feelings. Some feel lightheaded, some feel unsteady. Others feel a brief sense that the world shifted slightly. Understanding what dizziness really is helps remove confusion. In many cases, dizziness is the body's response to a short disruption in balance. That balance depends on communication between the brain, blood flow, and the inner ear. The brain needs a steady supply of blood to process signals clearly. When blood flow changes suddenly, even for a few seconds, the brain reacts. This reaction can feel like lightness in the head, or a moment of instability when standing or turning. The inner ear also plays a role. It helps the brain understand position and movement. When signals from the inner ear and blood flow are not perfectly aligned, dizziness can appear. After 60, these systems may not synchronize as quickly as before. They still work, but they require smoother transitions. Dizziness does not automatically mean disease. Often, it reflects timing. Standing too quickly, turning the head suddenly, changing position without allowing circulation to adjust. These moments create brief mismatches. The brain notices, and dizziness is the result. Another important point is duration. Short, passing dizziness is different from constant spinning or severe imbalance. Most people after 60 experience the brief type. Because it passes, it feels harmless. But repetition matters. Repeated brief episodes indicate that the body is being challenged often, not dangerously. But consistently, this consistency adds strain. Over time, the brain works harder to stay balanced. Fatigue increases. Confidence decreases. Many people adapt by moving more slowly or avoiding certain actions. This helps in the moment, but it doesn't address the cause. Understanding dizziness as a communication issue helps reframe it. It's not a failure. It's feedback. Feedback that the brain and circulation need better coordination. Once this idea is clear, it becomes easier to understand why dizziness becomes more common after 60, and why certain habits quietly make it worse without being noticed. One of the most common triggers of dizziness after 60 is changing position too quickly, standing up suddenly, bending down and straightening fast, turning the head without pause. When the body changes position, blood needs to move against gravity. The brain relies on blood vessels to adjust pressure smoothly. After 60, this adjustment often takes a little longer. Blood vessels still respond, but not as instantly as before. If movement happens too fast, blood may briefly pool lower in the body. The brain receives less blood for a moment. That moment is often felt as dizziness. This type of dizziness is usually short. It lasts seconds, but it can feel unsettling. Many people instinctively stop and wait. They hold on to something. They steady themselves. Once the feeling passes, they continue. Because it goes away, it's rarely questioned. But when this pattern repeats several times a day, it adds strain. The brain constantly has to compensate. Balance becomes less reliable. This doesn't mean movement should be avoided. It means movement should be paced. Standing up in stages helps. Sitting for a moment, letting the body adjust. Then standing slowly. The same applies to bending or turning. Pausing briefly before changing direction gives circulation time to respond. These pauses may feel unnecessary at first, but they reduce sudden drops in blood flow. Many people notice that when they slow transitions, dizziness appears less often. Movements feel more controlled. Confidence improves. This adjustment does not require strength. It requires timing. Allowing the body a few extra seconds during position changes can significantly reduce dizziness after 60. It's one of the simplest ways to support balance without adding effort or risk. Mild dehydration is one of the most overlooked causes of dizziness after 60. It often develops slowly and quietly. Most people don't realize it's happening. As we age, the sense of thirst becomes less reliable. The body may need water, but the signal is weaker. So people drink less without noticing. When the body has less fluid, blood volume decreases slightly. Blood becomes thicker. Thicker blood moves more slowly through blood vessels. This makes it harder for blood to reach the brain smoothly, especially when standing or moving. The result can be lightheadedness, a floating sensation, or brief instability. Many people only drink water when they feel thirsty. Others avoid drinking because they don't want frequent bathroom trips. Over time, this creates a pattern of mild dehydration. Not enough to feel sick, but enough to affect circulation. This type of dehydration often shows up as dizziness that appears at certain times. After standing, after walking, later in the day, drinking large amounts all at once is not the solution. That can feel uncomfortable and doesn't always help circulation quickly. What helps more is steady intake. Small amounts, spread throughout the day. Starting hydration early supports blood volume before the day becomes active. It helps circulation adjust more easily to movement. Many people notice that when hydration improves, dizziness becomes less frequent. Standing feels easier. Energy feels more stable. Hydration also supports blood pressure regulation. This reduces sudden drops that can trigger dizziness. This habit is simple but powerful. It doesn't require planning or effort. Supporting hydration consistently gives the brain a steadier supply of blood. And steadier circulation often means fewer interruptions in balance and comfort after 60. Sleep plays a larger role in dizziness than many people realize. It's not only about feeling rested, it's about how the brain and circulation recover overnight. During sleep, blood pressure lowers naturally. Heart rate slows. Blood flow patterns shift into a resting state. This is normal and healthy. The problem appears when sleep is fragmented or irregular. Waking up often, sleeping very lightly, going to bed and waking at different times each day. When sleep quality is poor, the body does not fully reset. Blood vessels may remain slightly tense. Circulation may be less responsive the next day. Many people over 60 experience this without realizing its impact. They wake up feeling tired, but they assume it's just age. Poor sleep affects the nervous system. The nervous system helps regulate blood pressure and balance. When it's not well rested, coordination suffers. This can make dizziness more likely, especially during movement, especially in the morning. Another factor is timing. Going to bed very late or waking very early disrupts the body's internal rhythm. This rhythm helps control circulation and balance. When the rhythm is inconsistent, blood flow adjustments become less predictable. Daytime habits also affect sleep. Very little movement during the day can make sleep lighter at night. Long naps late in the afternoon can delay nighttime rest. This creates a cycle. Poor sleep leads to dizziness. Dizziness leads to less activity. Less activity leads to poorer sleep. Breaking this cycle does not require perfect sleep. It requires stability. Going to bed around the same time. Waking at a consistent hour. Allowing the body to develop a rhythm. Even small improvements in sleep consistency can help circulation respond more smoothly. Many people notice fewer dizzy moments after better sleep. Balance feels steadier. Thinking feels clearer. Sleep does not eliminate dizziness on its own, but it reduces strain. Reducing strain allows the brain and circulation to work together more effectively. And when that coordination improves, dizziness becomes less frequent and less disruptive. Many people don't realize how closely the neck and shoulders are connected to balance. Large blood vessels travel through the neck to supply the brain. Important nerves also pass through this area. When the neck and shoulders are stiff or tense, circulation and signaling can become less smooth. This does not block blood flow, but it can reduce how efficiently the brain receives information about position and movement. After 60, stiffness in the neck and shoulders becomes more common. People sit longer. They look down more often. They hold the same posture for extended periods. Sleeping positions can also contribute. Using pillows that push the head forward. Sleeping with the neck twisted for hours. When you wake up, this tension often remains. It carries into the day. The inner ear works together with the neck to help maintain balance. If the neck is tight, signals between these systems may be slightly delayed. This delay can feel like dizziness when turning the head, or a sense of instability when looking up or down. Many people notice dizziness appears when they rotate their head, or when they change direction while walking. This is not always an ear problem. It is often a coordination issue between muscles, nerves, and circulation. Gentle awareness helps reduce this strain, avoiding prolonged downward head positions, keeping the head upright when sitting or standing. Simple movements can help. Slowly turning the head side to side, letting the shoulders relax downward. Breathing plays a role as well. Shallow breathing increases tension in the upper body. Calmer breathing encourages relaxation. When tension decreases, blood flow often feels smoother. Head movements feel less abrupt. Balance improves gradually. The goal is not stretching aggressively. It is easing tension naturally. Reducing neck and shoulder stiffness helps the brain receive clearer signals about movement. And when signals are clearer, dizziness becomes less frequent and less intense. This adjustment works best when practiced gently and consistently throughout the day. Many people notice dizziness only when it becomes strong enough to interrupt what they are doing. But the body usually gives smaller signals first. A brief, lightheaded feeling, a moment of unsteadiness, a sense that the head feels slightly off. Because these sensations pass quickly, they are easy to ignore. People assume they just need a moment, then they move on. Over time, this pattern repeats. The body sends feedback. It is dismissed. These early signals are not warnings of danger. They are indicators of how well the brain and circulation are adjusting. When early signals are ignored, habits don't change. People continue moving quickly. They continue pushing through discomfort. This adds strain, not all at once. But gradually, many people also worry that paying attention will make dizziness worse. They fear focusing on it will increase anxiety. But awareness does not create symptoms. It creates understanding. When people notice early signals, they can respond gently. They can slow down, pause, allow the body to adjust. These small responses reduce the intensity of dizziness. They prevent sudden drops in balance. Listening also reveals patterns. Certain times of day, certain movements, certain situations. Patterns provide useful information. They show what supports stability and what disrupts it. Ignoring signals removes this information. Many people who start listening notice that dizziness feels less surprising. They feel more in control, less anxious. Confidence plays a role in balance. When confidence improves, the body moves more smoothly. This does not mean monitoring every sensation. It means acknowledging them calmly when they appear. Responding early allows the body to correct itself. Circulation stabilizes more quickly. Balance recovers faster. This habit alone can reduce how often dizziness escalates. Not by force, but by cooperation with the body. Paying attention early is one of the simplest ways to reduce dizziness after 60. The most powerful factor behind ongoing dizziness after 60 is not a single symptom. It is daily behavior. Small habits repeated every day shape how often dizziness appears and how strong it feels. One common habit is rushing. moving quickly, changing positions without pause, trying to push through discomfort. Rushing tells the body to react under pressure. Blood vessels tighten. Balance systems are forced to adjust quickly. This increases strain instead of reducing it. Another habit is avoidance. Some people become afraid of dizziness, so they move less. They avoid walking. They avoid turning their head. While this feels protective, it weakens coordination over time. The body becomes less practiced at adjusting. Balance becomes more fragile. Fear itself also affects circulation. Anxiety tightens muscles. Breathing becomes shallow. Blood flow becomes less smooth. This makes dizziness more likely, not less. Another habit is inconsistency. Sleeping at different times, drinking water irregularly, being active one day and completely still the next. Inconsistency confuses the body. The brain prefers predictable rhythms. When rhythms are unstable, balance suffers. Many people don't realize these habits are connected to dizziness. They focus only on the sensation itself. But changing habits changes the environment the brain works in. When movement is calmer, circulation adjusts more easily. When routines are steady, balance systems respond better. This does not require perfection. It requires awareness and repetition. Small changes practiced daily have a stronger effect than dramatic changes done once. Many people notice that when they slow down, hydrate consistently, and move with confidence, dizziness loses its power. It appears less often. It feels less intense. This is why daily habits matter more than any single trigger. They quietly shape how the body responds every day. And when habits support steadiness, dizziness gradually becomes less disruptive. When people start understanding why dizziness happens, it's natural to want quick improvement. Some try to change everything at once. They move more suddenly. They test their limits. But after 60, the body responds best to calm and gradual changes. One important rule is not to push through dizziness. If lightheadedness appears, stopping for a moment helps the body recover. Forcing movement can increase strain and raise the risk of losing balance. Another mistake is staying completely still out of fear. Avoiding movement for long periods can weaken coordination. Gentle, controlled movement is often safer than total rest. It's also important not to copy routines seen online without adjustment. Every body responds differently. Health history, medications, and energy levels matter. Speaking of medications, changes should never be made suddenly without professional guidance. Some medications influence blood pressure and circulation. Stopping them abruptly can worsen dizziness. Safety in daily life matters. Standing up slowly, using support when needed, keeping floors clear and well lit. These small steps protect confidence while habits are being adjusted. Patience is essential. Reducing dizziness is rarely instant. Early changes may be subtle. Fewer intense episodes, quicker recovery, greater stability. These signs show progress. Supporting balance is not about control. It's about cooperation with the body. When changes are made calmly and consistently, the body adapts. Circulation stabilizes. Balance becomes more reliable. This careful approach allows daily habits to work without creating new stress. And when stress is reduced, dizziness often becomes less frequent and less disruptive. Dizziness after 60 can feel unpredictable. It may appear suddenly. It may disappear just as quickly. Because it comes and goes, many people accept it as part of aging. But as we've discussed, dizziness is often the result of small factors adding up. Changing position too quickly, not drinking enough water, poor sleep, neck and shoulder tension, ignoring early signals, daily habits that increase strain. None of these alone may seem serious, but together they influence how smoothly the brain, circulation, and balance systems work. The encouraging part is this: most of these factors are adjustable, not through extreme effort, not through complicated routines, but through awareness and consistency, slowing down transitions, hydrating steadily, improving sleep rhythm, reducing tension, listening to early feedback. When these habits improve, the body responds. Blood flow becomes steadier. Balance systems coordinate more smoothly. Confidence returns gradually. This doesn't mean dizziness will disappear overnight, but it often becomes less frequent, less intense, less disruptive. Understanding the causes removes some of the fear. Fear tightens muscles. It alters breathing. It can make dizziness worse. Clarity allows calm responses, and calm responses help the body stabilize faster. If you recognize these patterns in your own experience, that's a positive sign. It means you're paying attention. You don't need to change everything at once. Choose one small adjustment. Practice it daily. Over time, those small steps can reshape how your body responds. In the next video, we'll talk about simple daily habits that help reduce dizziness after 60 and support steadier balance throughout the day. Understanding your body gives you more control over how you feel, not by forcing change, but by working with the natural systems that support balance and clarity.